happy Friday. I'm Marta Nielsen with Utah State University Extension, and I'm so excited to introduce you to Haley Holden. I'll let her tell a little bit about herself. Haley, will you go ahead and just give us a little introduction?
For sure. Thank you so much, Marta. I'm so excited to be here. I I don't know where to start. I grew up in Tooele County. I grew up in Vernon, Utah. Not very many people know where that's at. There's about 300 people on a good day, so really, really small ranching community. Grew up on a small cattle operation where I was able to get involved with 4-H. I showed a couple steers, and then my heart decided it was going to lie on the sheep side of things. So growing up, I raised anywhere from 10 to 25 ewes and a couple bucks, and from there, I showed my own lambs that I grew for 10 years. Couple different places in the state. I really enjoyed that. Learned a lot of really, really good things from that. So yeah, that's how I grew up. Horses, just a lot of livestock influence. From there, I graduated high school in Tinnick High School in Eureka. Super small school, really cool opportunities there because of the size. And then I attended Snow College for 2 years, and I finished up last fall, and I'm graduating in just a couple weeks with my Associates of Animal Science, almost a bachelor's in credits. And then I'm just working on my bachelor's slowly as I live here in Nephi, working for Juab County Extension, just through the Utah State branch here. So,
well, congratulations on your upcoming graduation. That's so exciting.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. So, tell me a little bit about what you do with Extension in Juab County.
Okay. So what my job is I am the livestock coordinator for Juab County. We used to have just a normal ag natural resource agent, county agent. When he left, the higher ups decided to split the position to better fill the needs of the county into 3 positions. So there's a horticulturalist, an ag economist, and myself, the livestock coordinator in the county. So my job is to run the livestock and horse programs in our county, as well as answer any livestock or animal science related questions that come into the extension office, and then help a little bit on the producer education side of things where is needed. So
that's awesome. Because sometimes it feels like, especially in maybe smaller or more rural counties, that our extension folks, have to wear lots of hats. So they're doing lots of different topic areas. And I love that you're able to just focus in on what you're passionate about and what your expertise is.
Oh, I completely agree with you.
Awesome.
Growing up, that's all I could ever have dreamed of doing. And it's just so fun to be able to make my passion my career and be able to help the kids in this area have the same experiences or better than what I had. So
is most of your time spent with the 4-H kids?
Yes. So that's the majority of my job is running the horse and livestock programs for the 4-Hers. So I do a lot of camps and clinics for livestock related topics and issues. I've taken kids to a couple different places on agricultural tours in the county just to get them out in the agriculture around them, and then just really getting those kids head first into their projects.
Oh, that's so awesome and so fun. I bet you're a really fun 4-H leader. They are lucky to have you.
You're too sweet. Thank you.
So you talked a little bit already about what you did in school. I think this is a unique opportunity because you're still pursuing your bachelor's degree. Will you continue in animal science, or will you have a different bachelor's degree?
So my bachelor's right now is in ag business, specifically farm and ranch management. That's a route I had thought about before, and originally I was going to pursue my bachelor's at the Logan campus in animal science. But whereas the campus down here doesn't offer that, I decided to go a little bit different route, and I'm very interested in the business end of things as well. And I think it's just a good overall, all-encompassing degree that I can go a couple different places with. So,
well, I bet you didn't know we were gonna, promote the distance ed campus, but there's our little plug for that.
Yep, there's our plug.
Um, so you mentioned that you were really involved in 4-H growing up. Did you did you aspire to work for extension as a kid? Did you think like, oh, that would be so fun, or are you surprised to be where you are?
I'm not very surprised. I mean, it's not like specifically what I thought I was going to be doing. When I was a little kid, I always thought I would be a vet. And then that aspired into teaching ag. And so, and then I also, my grandmother, she's been a 4-H leader for over 45 years. And so extension has always been a super big part of my life, as has 4-H. And I think that I knew that I would be involved with it somehow in the future just because of the impact it had on me. But I didn't think I would end up here this quick. I don't know. I feel super blessed to be here, and I'm so glad that I'm here because I'm able to teach ag still. Maybe not an aspect I had anticipated, but
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it, and it's just so fun. So
That's awesome. So is your grandma still actively teaching 4-H or leading 4-H groups?
she her last year was 2020. COVID kind of put a damper on things for her because of some health problems, but what a lady. I mean,
40 years.
horses for about 25 of those and livestock in between until up until 2020. So
Wow,
what a
that's
way.
amazing. That's amazing. Um, Tell me about working in Juab County. It's not the county where you grew up, so I imagine things are a little different. Just yeah, tell me about. I know you're working mostly with the kids there. Give us a little snapshot of what it's like.
Very rural setting. We have a lot of diversity though, because even in this rural setting, there's a lot of families that aren't very involved in agriculture, and there are a lot that's completely their lives is agriculture. So it's kind of cool to be able to work with a whole bunch of different kinds of kids. I will say, no matter what their background is or what their interests are, they are just good kids, hardworking. There's something about the mentality here in Juab it's very exciting for their future, the future of the kids and the future of the county as well, because of the way these kids are being raised and the way that they're living their lives. So
Oh, that's
really
awesome.
cool. I don't know. It's a big county. We have a lot of ground to cover and a lot of areas that are unpopulated. As you get west in the county, out on the desert, there's a lot more cattle and jackrabbits than there are people. But there is this really cool community, Callio, Utah, out on the desert that have some great families and great kids and great ag operations that are
Yeah.
very successful out there. So kind of
So
diversity, but
is that a challenge to have such a big area to cover?
it can be. Where I grew up in Vernon, and we run cows out on the desert. I grew up out in that area, and so it's kind of cool to know the country and have associated with the people before, and then be able to give back to the community and kind of be a bigger part of it. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's
it's really
awesome. Um, I'm going to ask you some questions that are not that I didn't prepare you for in advance.
that's fine.
Just put you on the spot a little bit. I'm curious because you said that you have kind of both ends of the spectrum. So kids who are, up to their ears in ag, and then kids who are not at all participating in 4-H. What does that look like for a kid who maybe does not live in an area where they could have livestock in their backyard? How do they participate in these programs and learn about, you know, livestock? You're so passionate about it. I can imagine like that's exciting. It would be exciting to learn, but difficult maybe for kids who don't have, a farm in their backyard.
Right. Right. I think especially in Utah right now, with all of the urban development and everything, there are a lot of kids that find themselves in that situation. And there's a lot of kids I do know that just don't have any idea about it because they don't have the opportunity to, and they're just so far removed from it that milk comes from the grocery store and and it's kind of a mentality these days. But I think that there are a lot of different ways to get involved with livestock and horse 4-H programs, even when you do find yourself in that situation. And a couple of those are, if you're interested about it, there are a lot of cool opportunities at county fairs. I've been to a couple recently, and they have what they call an animal education center, excuse me, and it's just a way to get out and immerse yourself in a livestock environment and learn and talk to people that are immersed in it, and they live that every day. And there's a lot of opportunity out there, especially through school. You can get involved with your FFA program. Even a lot of the urban schools in Utah have FFA programs, and there's a lot of really cool opportunities to do that. And then just reach out to your local extension office. There's a lot of things that you can do, and a lot of projects and contests that you can participate in without even having to own livestock or have the space or means to do so. So,
what about some of the smaller livestock? I mean, I was not lucky enough to participate in 4-H as a kid, but I've been to the fair, and I've seen, they show chickens, like there are birds, there are rabbits, there are smaller things. Is that more feasible for some kids?
There are, especially along the Wasatch Front, there's not much backyard space, and there's regulations of such to not be able to have big livestock animals and species like that. And so a lot of county fairs and things offer rabbit shows and chicken shows, and the state has a turkey program. Sometimes, depending on where you're located, you're able to have a couple turkeys that you can feed out and then butcher and participate in that type of contest. But there's a lot of small animal production, like you mentioned, like the rabbits and chickens, that you can get involved with as well, if you still want to be involved and you just don't have the means for livestock.
Right. So. Right, for larger animals. Well, and I guess what I'm hoping people take away from this is there are so many different opportunities. Like, you don't have to think, well, I could never keep sheep or goats in my backyard, so I can't participate. Like you said, call your local extension, find out those ways that you can participate and get involved, because there are lots of them.
There are, for sure.
So what is your favorite part about your job in JUAB?
There's a couple things that I just love about it. One, it's my passion, and it's really fun and fulfilling to be able to make my passion into my career. But I think the thing that I love the most about it is just being able to associate with such a high caliber of youth on a daily basis. These kids, I can't say enough good about them. They are going places, and they are going to do big things in their future. It's so cool, because every single one of them is so special and has so many talents that are going to be very beneficial for them. And it's fun to be able to work with that caliber of kids.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And I love that Extension is providing mentors like you and just more adults in these kids' lives to be their cheerleaders and encourage them and help them to achieve those goals and those dreams. I think that's so awesome. So outside of I know you said that you also get to answer any livestock questions. Are you ever talking with non-4-H folks?
I am. I get a couple questions depending on the week, 1 to 2 a week, if not more, depending on the time of year, right. As well as what's going on in the county. But I chat with quite a few people. I get a lot of questions from people that have moved into the county and purchased property, and they're wondering, okay, what livestock species would work best for their situation, and just things like that. I've had a couple horse questions. Turkeys, a lot of like backyard farm projects that are fun to work with. But getting involved with the producer side of things and helping answer people's questions has been really good. And if I can't answer their questions, I probably have contacts that can.
The people who can. So if you're in Juab County and you have livestock questions, reach out to Haley. Sounds like she would love to help you. And if you're not participating in 4-H and you're in Juab, definitely check it out. I'm going to share in the comments a link to the Juab County website. where you can learn more about their 4-H programs and all of the fun things that they have going on there. Do you have any fun activities coming up for 4-H that you want to talk about before we wrap it up here?
We've got a couple little things. I have this year we've been focusing on getting the kids out into local agriculture, and we've taken them on one tour so far of a local ag operation. I have a couple more of those coming up in the coming months, and then just some really fun camps and clinics and opportunities for you to get yourself and your animals out and prepare for your upcoming stock shows. So that's just a couple of things, but.
Awesome. Well, Haley, thank you so much. It was so great to talk with you and get to know you a little bit. And get excited about 4-H and the things that are happening in Juab County. Thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a great weekend. Haley's going to a rodeo. I had to throw that in there. Sounds like fun, and I love that it's getting to be that time of year where we can get outside and do all those fun things. So thanks again, Haley, and I hope you'll come back and we can talk more about 4-H another time.
Thanks so much, Marta.
See ya.
Bye.